Thank you, Aldo. I will try them both and see the effects they have on me. I have also been gifted another incredible extract from a plant called Mulungu. I love the soothing effect and the relaxation that provides me. And what I like even more is the lucid dreaming at night. It's like living another life at nighttime. Could you please explain to me why is this plant so nice?
Mulungu. If we spoke about certain patterns we created for ourselves, which made a whole character to cope with certain traumas we have been going through. Many are very connected to fear, and there are many forms of fear. It can be a very physical fear, a very noticeable one: fear of heights, fear of spider, fear of whatever, fear of your exam, fear of going on stage. And these fears can really inhibit our whole experience in life. It can withhold us from a lot of nice things. For example, fear for exam. Maybe you're very smart, you've done all your stuff, but your fear makes you do strange things at that moment and you ruin your exam. You don't get further. Or maybe your fear of getting on stage, or fear of doing something like I'm doing now, talking to a lot of people. That fear can really prevent you from opening up a whole possible reality for yourself. And the Mulungu is almost the best tree medicine I know that works on this system of fear. Sometimes also, it's hard to see where it comes from. Sometimes we don't even know we have it. We just feel so comfortable in our bubble. We don't even realize it's fear preventing us from changing the job, going somewhere, approaching somebody, doing something. And yes, for something like an ayahuasca, you can go into the fear and see maybe where it comes from and maybe deal with it. There are fears which are so deep, which is impossible for you to go to, even with an ayahuasca or a Freud or whoever, whatever technique you use, because they either stem from fear we got from our parents. Maybe your parents are raised in a certain way, and this is how they see the world, and that's how you've been raised. It's very hard to see where it comes from. But there's also small traumas we went through, which are very unrecognizable to people as being a trauma. For example, there's a very interesting story from Ramdas where he explains how he finally, I forgot the English word, gets dry when you learn to go to the toilet yourself at the age of 3 or 4, whatever it is. Finally learns how to do that himself, without his diaper, without his mom. He's very proud of this. He goes into the garden. He takes a big shit in the garden. And he's so proud. And he goes to his mom and he says, "Mom, look, I've done a big shit." And his mom is probably busy or whatever, and she looks and says, "What? You shit in the garden?" Bang. Hits the kid. And this would most probably not be registered as a huge trauma for most people. Not a war zone, it's not a aggressive father or whatever. But he finds later in meditation that this moment went so deeply in his life. He actually, for the first time, thought, I can do something myself. Have the faith and the trust that I'm doing something good. I'm going to do it. And I'm proud, and I've done it, and I show it, and I get hit. And for a kid that age, that goes so deeply that apparently, for the most part of his life, he thought, if I do something I really feel is good, it's probably wrong. So that withheld him from opening up a whole life path, a whole course in life. Another story I heard, which came up with Amanita, but was fixed with Mulungu, is something you would really not imagine. So this was a lady, and she was a baby. She was in the box, this little kid prison, which is of course weird. We put kids in a little kid prison. And what she saw in her experience with the Amanita was that she relived this moment, very special, of course, that can happen. her mom left the room. She was in her little cage, frightened, because it's very unnatural for a baby to be left alone. If you would do that in the wild, it would be eaten by some cat or wolf or whatever. So it's so instinctively to be with your mom all the time, not in a cage, and you go. And what happened? The cat jumped in, which is for a baby as big as a lion is to us. So she was left alone, and yes, the predator jumped in the cave. So this goes so deeply into the reptilian part of the brain that the fear of being left alone, the fear of death actually comes into being alone and being left. And wow, that's such a huge impact on her life, that fear. So many things were not done. And it's not a moment you quickly go to, no? With your psychiatrist. Oh yeah, then this cat jumped in my thing and that's why my life looks like this. But it's to explain there can be such small situations which seem insignificant but write so much about our reality. This is where Mulungu can do miracles. When you take a low dose of Mulungu, for example, a friend of a colleague of mine, he was in Ecuador, and there's this cart going up the mountain. We have them in Switzerland too, but they're very high quality, and the one in Ecuador was not so high quality, very scary. And that friend had fear of heights. He would normally never go into that little cart. They gave him a drop of the Mulungu, he went into the cart, no problem. You can take a drop of Mulungu before you have to go on stage, or maybe before your exam. It takes away a lot of this fear. But you can also strategically use it in a dieta style, as I'm explaining, what I'm inviting you to. So not so much, I fear now, I need it. Can be used like that. But the deeper spiritual healing can come in healing these deep-rooted fears. And I would advise it on a later stage, unless you feel this is really your struggle, start with it. But if you started with a Caapi first or a Bobinsana, you do the Mulungu later to see the fears behind things. But if you know this of yourself, maybe start with the Mulungu. What is important if you work with this is that you actually do the things you are afraid of. Not if they're natural fears, like jump into a cage of lions. But as an example, I'm traditionally from Holland, and we like to skate on the ice. And it's one of the few things that make Holland special and great. There's more great things, but ice skating is our thing, you know? And lately it doesn't freeze so much anymore. So when there's finally a thin layer of ice, we all jump on and we start skating. And many times we sink through the ice. And it's terrible when you sink through the ice. It's cold, and you're far from home, and you're wet, and it's winter, and it's just shit. And you want to get out, and the ice breaks. It's really no fun. And then when you finally get out, you have to skate back home. Next time when you get into the ice, you cannot enjoy your skating. All you think about is you might fall through this ice any moment and get cold and shitty feeling. Oh, maybe that's going to be weak ice. Oh, I shouldn't skate there. So you cannot enjoy your skating. But there's only one way of getting over it, and that's continue the skating as much as you can, and you forget that situation again. That's the only way how you can rewrite this fear. And for some, and that's why I make the comparison, if something like that happened, they would never skate again. Again, the ice skating is a metaphor for many other things in life. But maybe you enjoy it so much, or it's your talent, or it can be so cool. And you would never step onto the ice. But the only way to rewrite is by doing it. But if you're too fearful for that, that's how you can do a very proper dieta with Mulungu. Take maybe one drop, or a few, whatever suits you, and you do that thing. You do go on stage and sing. You do go on the ice and skate. You tell yourself, but the Mulungu helps you do it. And after sometimes, you've rewritten yourself, and the fear is gone, and you enjoy doing these things. It actually gives you a kick. Now, the Mulungu is also very sedative. It's one of the strongest sleeping aids. It won't be the sleeping aid of choice, because it's really so sedative that if you take a lot, you feel pretty tired the next day, almost like a hangover. But for people that really have a strong insomnia, a strong one, to at least sleep overpowers the not sleeping at all. The benefits of actually sleeping are so much better than not sleeping at all that the bit hangover, tired feeling the next day you can take for granted with it. And you actually learn to sleep again. Your rhythm also rewrites. So people take Mulungu with strong insomnia for maybe a few weeks, slowly build up, slowly build down, and they sleep and they don't need Mulungu anymore. But this would not be the first use I would give to it unless you really have a big sleeping problem. I'm telling this because the Mulungu can very quickly, instead of being an anxiolytic, which is against fear, become a sedative and sleeping agent. So find a dose that doesn't make you docile, doesn't sedate you, but does help you to overcome your fear. It also helps for all physical things coming from that fear. Tension in the neck, no? This is fear. Many people have it all the time, a little bit. Maybe you don't even see, but a little bit. And get the tension here in the neck, many times rooted from fear. That can help with all these physical problems stemming from this fear. But the real healing comes if you can pinpoint where it's from. A Caapi could be very good for that, an ayahuasca ceremony, or maybe you know. And with the dose that suits you, do the things you're actually afraid of. And then once you start doing them, and you want to do, of course, when you start doing them, they start resonating with the rest of your reality, and very cool things can happen. It's a very strong, very, very, very powerful medicine, Mulungu, and greatly overlooked. Many times in the shadow of other entheogens, because it doesn't work like, wow, enlightenment, wow, insight, wow, great, wow. But it can change so much, because so many people of us have these fears. So yeah, that's still in short, bit how to do a dieta with the Mulungu.
Thank you so much for that answer. Can you combine Mulungu with other plants like example Caapi?
I wouldn't. You
That's
can,
clear.
but Mulungu is such a powerful plant, so strong, such a strong spirit. It's also a wood giant, it's a gigantic tree. It can be a gigantic tree, and it's very much on its own. Everything is possible, but to me that's too empowering to the Mulungu.
I heard Bobinsana is a contraceptive. Is that right?
Yes, so is Caapi. With Bobinsana, they're not very sure, but it's been used like that in very high amounts. The Caapi also in high amounts is abortive, actually. So by lack of research, I mean, there's many people that drink Aya while they're pregnant. My wife did it, and tribes do it too. But to be safe, because there's many times a lack of research on the actual effect, maybe avoid it if you're pregnant, and do this diet another time. Even though it might be fine, if something happens, and even if it's not about the plant, it will be very hard to come to terms with it. Yet, did I take this plant? Was it my fault? Maybe it destroys your relationship with the plant. And I'm not saying it's going to per se have a bad effect, but simply from the lack of experience and knowing, and you don't feel truly comfortable, maybe leave it and don't consume them while pregnant.
For this moment.
Well, very thankful for all your attention and time of being here, and without your support of here, but also of Waking Herbs, we would not be able to do our work, and sincerely hope that people are interested now to delve a bit deeper into this world, or maybe they are already deep, but add to the complete knowledge body we have together, whether it's just in the spiritual realm or the energetic realm, or also physically. Just that this movement is happening, I'm very, very happy with. This is what we all been doing it for. And this was our first time, so we had to get used to it. I've seen that most people stayed, which is a very good sign. Means you enjoyed. I'm very thankful for that. There's a lot more to share about the plants we have here, but also there's a more in-depth course for people that really want to learn to become a therapist and work on a deep way with these plants in a therapeutic way. So maybe, Philip, you can add that in a mail. You can maybe check my site if you're interested in the deeper teaching.
Yeah, we will surely will. We will surely add Aldo his website and also this invitation that he just sent out to join him in his classes for more private sessions or more in-depth sessions. Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you for your generosity. And also, I would like to thank all the indigenous people for being so generous of sharing all their knowledge and all their culture with us, and that we are able to grow together and reawaken our knowledge, because there's a lot of knowledge that we had here in Europe, speaking from my side, that has been forgotten, that has been eliminated, and we are hoping that webinars like ours will bring back knowledge and will more help spread the knowledge, and that we will go back, or not even go back, but go forward to more natural living and more connection to the plants, to ourselves, to Great Spirit, and to everyone and everything around us. So thank you so much, Andres, for doing all the work on the background. Thank you so much, Wouter and Laura and all the team of Waking Herbs for making this able. And although there's a big shout out to you, dear friend, for all the beautiful work you do and sharing the knowledge. And all the participants, everybody watching, you sit on your couch or maybe in the park or somewhere nice and taking time to be with us together. It feels really good, and I hope to see you next time. And thank you very much.
And thank you, Philip, for your support and moderation.
Before we wrap up this extraordinary conversation, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to Aldo for gracing us with his wisdom and illuminating our path with the radiant light of plant healing. Your insights have been nothing short of amazing, leaving us with awe of the boundless power and intricate beauty that resides within the realm of plants. Aldo, your passion for harmonious living and your dedication to uncovering these secrets the plants hold have inspired us all. Through your profound connection with nature, you have opened our eyes to the transformative potential that lies within the gentle embrace of botanical allies. As we bid farewell to this enlightening session, let us carry the flame ignited by Aldo's words, a flame that will continue to guide us on our journey of exploration and discovery. May the wisdom and healing power plants forever illuminate our path as we forge ahead, nurturing our connection with nature and embracing the harmony that lies within. Thank you, Aldo, for sharing your extraordinary knowledge and insights with us. Your presence has truly been a gift, and we eagerly anticipate the continued inspiration that will unfold in our future episodes. Until we meet again, let the magic of plants continue to weave its spell, reminding us of the profound and wondrous world that surrounds us. Thank you so much.